Good day, grade 7 students. In our last video, we discussed about the different kinds of angles. Now we will be discussing the different kinds of angle pairs. When we say angle pair, it refers to any two angles that display a certain geometrical property. Remember, pairs always come in twos. For example, pair of socks, pair of slippers, pair of gloves, and you and your best friend, of course, is a perfect pair. But before I introduce the different kinds of angle pairs, let me just discuss this very important postulate that plays an important role in understanding the relationship between the angles in an angle pair. This is the angle addition postulate, and it states that if point D is in the interior of angle ABC, like what you are seeing now in the figure, yung point D po ay nasa loob ng angle ABC, then let us draw an imaginary ray that connects B to D. Okay? Then the measure of angle ABD, which is this angle, plus the measure of angle CBD is equal to the measure of angle ABC. Take note that a whole is the sum of its parts, diba? So, pag pinagsama po natin yung dalawang angle na to, yung smaller angles, ang mabubuo po niya is the whole angle ABC. Okay? Which means that if the measure of angle ABD is 20 degrees, let me just write it here. So if this is 20 degrees and angle CBD measures 55 degrees, then the measure of angle ABC would be like this. 20 plus 55 degrees is equal to 75 degrees, meaning we are just going to combine the measurements of the two smaller angles, okay, to get the measure of angle ABC. But in this case, if the measure of angle ABC is 80 degrees, so given na po yung measure po ng buong angle, which is ABC, and then the measure of angle CBD is 45 degrees. Let me just erase this. So this is 45 degrees while the whole angle, this one, is 80 degrees. How are we going to find the measure of angle ABD? Again, as I have said earlier, the whole is the sum of its parts, meaning when we combine the measurement of angle ABD and measurement of angle CBD, we will get 80. Therefore, for us to get that missing number, we are going to subtract 45 from 80. So that would be 80 minus 45 is equal to 35 degrees, meaning the measurement of angle ABD is 35 degrees, and together they will make an 80-degree angle. So that is the idea of the angle addition postulate. Please remember that because you will also be encountering this postulate in your grade 8 geometry lessons. The first pair of angles is what we call the adjacent angles. Two angles are adjacent if they have a common side and a common vertex but no interior points in common. So this is how we illustrate adjacent angles. Again, consider angle RPS and angle QPS. So look at the figure. This is angle RPS, this one, and this is angle QPS. Notice that they share a common vertex, which is point P, So, parehas po sila ng vertex. Kita rin naman po sa names nila. Parehas P yung gitna. They share a common side and that is ray PS. Okay, so parehas po na side nila yung ray PS. But there are no interior points in common. Okay, since an angle divides a plane into regions, as you can see, there will be points inside the angles. Okay, for example, we have point B, which is inside angle RPS, and point A, which is in the interior of angle QPS. So, yan pong points A and B ay examples lang po ng mga interior points. If you're going to look at the bigger picture, lahat po ng interior points na masasakop ni RPS ay hindi masasakop ng angle QPS. Magkahiwalay po sila kasi may boundary po sa gitna na ray PS. Okay? So that is the idea of adjacent angles. Magkatabi yung angle. Nag-share ng common vertex, common side, but no common interior points. So in this example, angle RPS and angle QPS are adjacent angles. But take note, hindi po ibig sabihin na nag-share ng common vertex and common side adjacent na agad. Tulad ng mga examples na ito. Angle RPS and RPQ, so this is RPS, lagyan natin ng curve. Ayan, so this is angle RPS and angle RPQ is this angle. Diba? So the whole angle. They are not adjacent angles since angle RPS is in the interior of angle RPQ. Okay? So, yung RPS daw ay nasa loob na mismo ng RPQ. Though sila ay nag-share ng common vertex at ng common side which is ray PR, hindi sila pwedeng maging adjacent angles dahil lahat ng interior points na nasa loob ng RPS ay nasa loob na rin ng RPQ. Same with angle SPQ, which is this one, SPQ, and angle RPQ again. Okay? So, since angle SPQ is in the interior of angle RPQ, they are not considered adjacent angles. Let's move on to the next pair of angles. We have the complementary angles. Two angles are complementary with each other if the sum of their measures is equal to 90 degrees. Again, pag pinagsama po yung measurement ng dalawang angles, it will be equal to 90 degrees. For example, we have here angle B and angle Q. Angle B measures 70 degrees, while angle Q measures 20 degrees. So, when we combine 70 and 20, we will get 90. That means angle B and angle Q are complementary angles. Again, pag pinag-plus po ay 90, complementary angles yung dalawa. Okay? So, paano naman po yung relationship nila sa isa't isa? Ano yung tawag po nila sa isa't isa? Parang mag-best friend, di ba? Ano yung tawag mo sa best friend mo? So, angle B is a complement to angle Q. And angle Q is a complement to angle B. Okay, so that means if you are asked what is the complement of an angle that measures 70 degrees, then you will answer the complement of that angle measures 20 degrees. Okay, so parang ang hahanapin mo, ano yung bubuo dun sa 90 degrees. Ilan yung kulang. Okay? So, ganun po yun. Complementary angles are two angles that together make a right angle. Since ang sum nga po ng dalawang angles na yon ay 90 degrees, that means if we're going to place them side by side, the non-common sides will form a right angle similar to this figure. So as you can see, the measure of angle ABD is 30 degrees, while the measure of angle CBD is 60 degrees. So when we add them, it will be equal to 90. And as you can see, yung non-common sides po na ray BA and ray BC, nag-form siya ng right angle. Okay, so even without the measurements, pag nakita nyo po na merong right angle symbol or nag-form ng right angle, yung dalawang angles po, automatic they are complementary angles. Okay, so in this figure, the measure of angle ABC is equal to the sum of the measure of angle ABD and CBD, which are 30 and 60 degrees. And that's equal to 90 degrees. That means that angle ABD and angle CBD are complementary angles. Angle ABD is a complement to angle CBD, and angle CBD is a complement to angle ABD. So, as you can see po ulit, ang complementary angles ay pwedeng maging adjacent. Okay? Next pair of angles is the supplementary angle. Similar to dun sa previous one, which is the complementary angles. The only difference is that two angles are supplementary with each other if the sum of their measures is equal to 180 degrees. So, ang sum naman po ng dalawang angles na to ay 180 degrees. For example, we have here angle R and angle P. Angle R measures 150 degrees while angle P measures 30 degrees. So, when we combine the two measurements, it will be equal to 180 degrees. That means angle R and angle P are supplementary angles. So, ano naman ngayon yung tawag nila sa isa't isa? Angle R is a supplement to angle P, while angle P is a supplement to angle R. Supplementary angles are two angles that together make a straight angle. So, tulad nung kanina, di ba? Yung complementary angles, kapag po naging adjacent sila, nakaka-form ng right angle. So, ngayon naman, ang supplementary angle, since ang sum nila ay 180 degrees, ibig sabihin, if we're going to make them adjacent, yung non-common rays or sides ay magpo-form ng straight angle, which measures 180 degrees. So, ganito po ang magiging itsura niya. Ayan. For example, we have an angle RPS that measures 145 degrees and angle QPS which measures 35 degrees. Okay? So, as you can see, the rays PR and PQ form a straight angle. Okay? So, since the sum of the measures is 180, then angle RPS and SPQ are supplementary angles and they are supplement of each other. For the fourth angle pair, we have what we call the linear pair. Two adjacent angles form a linear pair if the non-common sides form opposite rays or a straight line. Sa madaling sabi, ang linear pair po ay dalawang angles na parehas adjacent at supplementary. So, ang kanya pong figure or illustration ay tulad po nung kaninang pinakita ko. Okay? So, ganito. Since the non-common sides ray BA and ray BC form a straight line. So, nag-form siya ng straight line. Si line AC ang na-form. Then, angle ABD, this one, and angle DBC form a linear pair. Even without the given measurement, we can say that the two angles form a linear pair because the non-common sides form a straight line. Okay? We also have what we call the linear pair postulate na isa pang tatandaan ninyo aside from the first postulate na binigay ko kanina. So, sa linear pair postulate naman, two angles that form a linear pair are supplementary. So, sabi ko nga po, kahit wala yung measurement, we can conclude that the two angles are supplementary because they form a straight angle. So, meaning, if angle ABD and DBC form a linear pair, then they are supplementary. Yun lang pong ibig sabihin po ng statement na to. The measure of angle ABD plus measure of angle DBC equals 180 degrees. So, if the measure of angle ABD is 64 degrees, then for us to get the measure of angle DBC, we're going to subtract this 64 degrees from 180 degrees. Okay? And that is 116 degrees. So, don't forget to check your answer. I-add nyo dapat sila mag-i-equal sa 180 degrees. When two lines intersect, they form four linear pairs. So, tulad po nung nasa figure natin, we have line AB and line CD intersecting at point P. As you can see, nag-form po siya ng mga linear pairs. And there are four linear pairs. Isa-isahin natin. The first pair is angle APD, this one, and angle DPB. So, this is the first linear pair. The second pair is angle DPB and angle BPC. This one. The third pair is angle BPC and angle CPA. The last pair is angle CPA and angle APD. Okay? So now, if the measure of angle APD is 70 degrees, we can now get the measure of the remaining angles. How? By applying the linear pair postulate. Since we know that angle APD and angle DPB form a linear pair, that means the measurement of APD plus the measurement of DPB is equal to 180 degrees. Okay? So, kukuhanin natin yung kulang dun sa 70 para mabuo natin yung 180. And we can do that by subtracting 70 from 180 and that will give us 110 degrees. So, the same concept po will be applied to the remaining two angles. Since angle BPC form a linear pair with angle BPD or DPB, so sila din ay linear pair, di ba? That means for us to get the measure of BPC, isa-subtract natin yung 110 from 180 degrees and we will get 70 degrees. So for the last angle, angle CPA, since it forms a linear pair with angle APD or pwede rin kay angle BPC, so subtract lang natin yung 70 from 180 and we will get 110 degrees ulit. So as you can see, nag-form po ng dalawang pares po ng congruent angles. Okay? So congruent again means equal yung measurement. Ang tawag po dun sa angles na yon, yung parehas po ng measurement, as you can see, yung magkabaliktaran, ang tawag sa kanila is vertical angles. Ito na po yung last pair po natin, the vertical angles. Vertical angles are non-adjacent angles formed by two intersecting lines. Okay? So, tatandaan ha, ang vertical angles ay nabubuo ng dalawang intersecting lines. Parang letter X. Ano? Sila yung magkabaliktaran, yung magkatalikuran. Non-adjacent sila. Though nagsishare sila ng vertex, Kasi ang vertex nila is yung intersection ng lines. Non-adjacent sila kasi wala naman silang common sides. Okay? So again, ito yung ating illustration. So in this figure, we have two pairs of vertical angles. The first pair would be angle APD and angle BPC, and the second pair would be angle APC and angle DPB. Okay? So, dalawang pares agad yung nabuo natin na vertical angles. We also have what we call the vertical angle theorem. This time po, theorem po itong i-discuss ko, not a postulate. Ang pinagkaiba po ng dalawa is, ang postulate po is accepted without proof. Samantalang ang theorem po, it needs to be proven first. Okay? So, actually, yung proof po ng vertical angle theorem is somehow napakita natin kanina nung dinederive natin yung mga measurement ng angles using the linear pair postulate. Anyway, I won't be discussing that kasi medyo mahaba. So, the vertical angle theorem states that vertical angles are congruent. Okay? They are always congruent. Tulad nung kaninang pinakita ko, kung napansin nyo naman, parehas lagi yung measurement nung angles dun sa pair. So, in this figure, if angle APC and BPD and angle APD and BPC are vertical angles, then we can say that angle APC is congruent to angle BPD. So, take note of the symbol. Congruence ang ginamit kasi ang nire-relate natin ay yung mismong angles na po. Okay, yun po yung sinabi ko sa isang video, di ba? Yung congruent symbol po is yung equal sign na may tilde sa taas. Same with angle APD and angle BPC, they are also congruent or parehas ang measure. So, if the angles are congruent, then we can also conclude that the measure of angle APC is equal to the measure of angle BPD, and the measure of angle APD is equal to the measure of angle BPC. Again, equal sign po ang ginagamit when we are relating the measurements. So, if angle APC is 130 degrees, then the measure of angle BPD is also 130 degrees. And if the measure of angle APD is 50 degrees, then automatic po, the measure of angle BPC is also 50 degrees. So, if you can notice din po, pag pinagsama-sama yung apat na angles po, lagi pong ang sum ay 360 degrees. Okay? So, tandaan niyo yan ha. Laging ang sum ay 360 degrees. Kasi di ba po, parang dalawang linear pair siya na magkadikit. Ang isang linear pair ay 180 degrees. So, meaning 180 plus 180, that's 360 degrees. So, that's one way to check na rin po kung tama yung na-obtain yung answers. So now let us apply what you have learned from the discussion. Let us try to solve the measures of the missing angles. First, if W is 43 degrees, what is the value of Z? So ito yung given. W measures 43 degrees. And then yung Z, ang nawawala. So, take note po ha, yung W represents the measurement, not the name of the angle. Okay? Same with Z, Y, and X. Ang nire-represent po nila is yung measurement, not the name of the angle. So, wala pong particular name yung angles natin. But we can still solve their measurements. Okay? So, ang given dito, 43 yung W. Ang nawawala ay Z, or the value of Z. As you can see, meron pong isang given na angle sa gitna. Okay? May square siya. Again, kapag nakita yung symbol na yan, automatic ang measure ng angle is 90 degrees. Okay? So, kung 90 degrees pala to, at yung tatlong angles, as you can see, ay nakabuo ng straight angle pag pinagsama-sama, ibig sabihin, pag binawas ko yung 90 na to, may 90 pa na matitira. Okay? At yung natitirang 19 yun po yung pinagsamang measurement ng W at saka ng Z. Okay? So, ang relationship pala ng angle na to na may measure na W dun sa angle na may measure na Z, silang dalawa ay complementary angles. Okay? So, yun yung relationship na nakita natin ha. So, dapat talaga obserbahan yung mabuti at aalamin kung ano yung relationship ng dalawang given na angles. So, complementary sila. At dahil complementary sila, that means if we want to get the missing part or the complement, we are going to subtract. Okay? Subtract 43 from 90. And that is 47 degrees. Okay? So, check po natin 47 plus 43, that will give us 90 degrees. So, 90 na tong dalawa, plus 90 pa tong nasa gitna, edi 180 na silang tatlo. Okay? Ayan, naka-form sila ng straight angle. Next, if x is 125, what is y? Okay? So, x is 125. Burahin na natin yung mga una nating naisulat kasi syempre panibagong given na to. Baka hindi na tumugma dun sa nauna. Ano? So, ang x daw po ay 125 ang value niya. 125 degrees. Ano naman daw ang value nitong y? Okay? So, ito yung nawawala. As you can see, ang relationship nung x at y is they are supplementary. Kasi nag-form ng linear pair yung dalawang angles. Okay? So, pwede sigurong ilagay na lang natin na relationship ng dalawa, linear pair. Because that is the best answer. Ano? So, linear pair sila. So, meaning, if we want to get this missing part of the pair, we are going to subtract 125 from 180 degrees. Kasi nga, supplementary yan, di ba? So, 180 minus 125 will give us 55 degrees. So, 55 po ang value ng y. Okay? So, para ma-check po, pag-plusin nyo, 55 plus 125, it will give you 180 degrees. Next. If y is 48 degrees, what is w? Burahin out natin itong mga nauna. So, let us try to analyze kung ano yung relationship ng y doon sa w. So, as you can see, this is y. So, ang measure po ng angle na yan ay 48 degrees at ito yung nawawala. Okay? So, if you try to look at the figure, angle W and angle Y are vertical angles. Kasi na-form siya nitong dalawang intersecting lines na to. Okay? So, siya ay vertical angles. At ano nga ba ulit yung relationship ng vertical angles? Okay? So, vertical angles are always congruent. So, that means if y is 48 degrees, then w is also 48 degrees. Okay? Kasi nga vertical angles sila. Next. I think this is the last for example number 1. If w is 2c plus 2, this time expression yung binigay 2c plus 2, and y is 50, what is the value of c? Okay, medyo challenging po yung part na ito. So, bakit siya challenging? Expression po yung binigay para sa w. Okay? So, 2c plus 2. While y is 50. Ang tinatanong po is yung value po nung c. Okay? So, application po ito ng algebra. Paano natin i-apply ngayon ang algebra dito? Since W and Y, or angles with measures W and Y, are vertical angles, sabi nga dun sa letter C kanina, di ba? Vertical sila. Ibig sabihin po, yung 2C plus 2 ay equal po kay 50. So, how is that possible? Ang gagawin natin ay i-equate natin yung dalawa. 2C plus 2 is equal to 50. So, I hope naaalala nyo pa ang linear equation in one variable. So, meron tayong isang variable dito, yung nawawala, which is C. Isa-solve po natin ngayon yung equation na to para makuha natin yung C. Okay? So, ang una natin i-apply is the APE para mawala yung plus 2 sa left side. So, for us to eliminate plus 2, of course, we will add its opposite, which is negative 2. And we will do the same dun sa right side, plus negative 2. Then, after that, syempre, makakancel na to. Ang matitira na lang ay 2c. And then, simplify this. 50 plus negative 2, or 50 minus 2 is 48. Okay? And since may 2 pa dito sa tabi ni C, para ma-eliminate natin yan, we are going to multiply both sides by 1/2. Or simply divide both sides by 2. Maalin naman po doon. Okay? So, dividing by 2 and multiplying by 1/2, they are the same. So, ang mangyayari dito, 1/2 times 2 will be equal to 1. Okay? So, magiging 1c na lang siya or c na lang. Okay? And then, 48 times 1/2 or 48 divided by 2 is equal to 24. So, yun po yung value na hinahanap natin. 24. Okay? So, wala po siyang degrees kasi hindi naman po measure ng angle yung letter C. Okay? Siya ay variable lang dun sa expression na nagre-represent ng measure ng angle na ito. Okay? So, wala po siyang degree sign or symbol. Dumako naman po tayo sa ating second example. In this figure, we are going to find the value of x given that y is 68 degrees and z is 65 degrees. So, as you can see, the three angles form a straight angle. So, yung tatlo po. I-apply natin ngayon yung angle addition postulate. Ano? So, x plus y plus z is equal to 180 kasi nga nag-form ng straight angle, di ba? So, para makuha natin yung x, ang gagawin natin is, i-add natin po yung y and z kasi given naman siya. Tapos, isusubtract natin from 180 degrees. Okay? So, isubstitute na natin yung given. Ayan, 180 minus yung sum ng 68 po at ng 65. So, syempre, following the PEMDAS, yung sum muna nung dalawang nasa loob ng parenthesis, ang kukunin natin. Tatandaan po ha, follow the PEMDAS rule. Okay, parenthesis muna ang unahin. So, we have to add this and we will get 133. And then, finally, we will subtract 180 minus 133 and that will give us 47 degrees. Okay? So, 47 ang value ng x. Pag pinag-add natin yung tatlo, it will give us 180 degrees. So, I hope na-gets po kung paano i-apply yung angle addition postulate dun sa problem. Example number 3, paano naman po ito? What is the value of x, a, and b if a is 3x and b is 2x plus 10? Okay? So, mukhang complicated po, pero i-analyze lang natin, makukuha din natin yan. Okay? First po is let us analyze the relationship of the two angles, yung A at saka yung B. Okay? So, as you can see, nag-form siya ng right angle kasi may symbol na square. Diba? That means they are complementary angles. At ano nga ba ulit ang relationship ng complementary angles? Again, the sum of the two angles or the measurement of the two angles is equal to 90 degrees. At doon natin po bubuin yung ating equation na gagamitin. Okay? So, A plus B is equal to 90. Okay? Pagpaplasin natin sila, and then equate the sum to 90. Then after that, syempre, since algebraic expression po yung given na measurement ng A at ng B, isa-substitute muna natin sila. Okay? For us to get the value of x. So, substitute 3x to A and substitute 2x plus 10 to B. At ganito ang magiging itsura. Ayan. So, 3x plus 2x plus 10 is equal to 90. Then, after that, since addition naman itong nasa labas, then this will not affect the sign of what's inside the parentheses. So, we can simply remove the parentheses and add the similar terms. 3x plus 2x will give us 5x. So, since wala namang x yung 10, kokopyahin lang natin siya. Plus 10 equals 90. So, applying the addition property of equality para mawala po yung 10 sa left side, we are going to add negative 10 or subtract 10 from both sides. Okay? So, kailangan maging 0 kasi siya eh. Ano po? Again, what you do on the left, you will also do on the right side. So, minus 10 po both sides. Ito po ay magiging 0 na. Ang matitira na lang ay 5x. And then 90 minus 10, ang matitira po ay 80. Then after that, we're going to eliminate this 5 sa tabi ni x. At para mawala yan, divide both sides by 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 1x will become x na lang po. And then 80 divided by 5 will give us 16. Okay? So, the value of x is 16. As you can see, wala ulit po tayong degree sign dito. Kasi nga, value naman po ng x yung hinanap natin, hindi measurement. Ngayon naman po, hanapin na natin yung measurement ng dalawang angles. Okay? So, by substitution, ang gagawin po natin, so, take note po that the value of x is 16. Okay? So, we are going to substitute that 16 to this equation. Okay? So, a equals 3x. Magiging a equals 3 times 16 because 3x means 3 times x. And 3 times 16 is equal to 48 degrees. So, 48 pala ang measurement nitong unang angle natin. Paano naman kaya yung pangalawa? So, ganun din, we are going to solve for b by substituting the value of x to the given expression. Okay? So, ito yung expression po para sa b. Ang gagawin natin is to substitute 16 dito sa x na ito. So, magiging b equals 2 times 16 plus 10. So, simplify this, follow PEMDAS, mauuna itong multiplication bago ang addition. So, 2 times 16 will give us 32, and then 32 plus 10 will give us 42 degrees. Okay? Take note, ang nakuha nating value ng A ay 48, at ang nakuha nating value ng B ay 42. Pag pinagsama natin yon, 48 plus 42, the answer is 90 degrees. So, that means tama po yung sagot na na-obtain natin kasi complementary nga yung lumabas na sagot. So, make sure po na basahing mabuti yung questions po at sagutin po kung ano yung hinihingi. Okay? So, sa question po, hiningi yung value ng x na nakuha natin as 16, yung value ng A which is 48 degrees at yung value ng B which is 42 degrees. Okay, yung part na to is para lang yata sa checking. Okay, checking nga po siya. Again, para po ma-check nyo is, i-add nyo lang po yung nakuha nyong values ng A at B. Okay, at dapat mag-equal nga siya sa 90. 48 plus 42 is 90. Okay, so mataas yung probability na tama yung sagot nyo kasi nag-equal nga. Always remember na with the right equation po, you will get the correct answer. Make sure tama yung relationship na ginamit nyo. Example number 4. What is the value of x and the measures of c and d if c is 3x minus 25 and d is 2x plus 27? Again, the first thing to do is to analyze the relationship of the given angles. So, ito po yung given angles natin magkabaliktaran sila. At ano nga ba ulit ang relationship niyan? Okay? So, yung dalawang angles po ay vertical angles. And if they are vertical angles, then that means that the measurements are equal. Okay? So, para ma-solve natin yung x, ang gagawin natin is to equate C and D. Kasi nga, pareha sila ng measurement, vertical angles yan. Okay? So, just substitute the algebraic expressions, 3x minus 25 to C and 2x plus 27 to D, magiging ganito na siya. 3x minus 25 equals 2x plus 27. Paano mag-solve ng ganyang equation, ma'am? Parehas may x both sides. So, one by one muna po, pwedeng yung constant muna ang alisin natin sa left side or pwede namang yung variable po na 2x ang alisin natin sa right side. So, ang i-apply lang natin dito is yung addition property of equality. Okay? Ayan. So, una po muna nating alisin yung minus 25. At para maging 0 yan, syempre, ang opposite ng minus 25 ay plus 25. At dahil nag-plus 25 ka sa left side, magpo-plus 25 ka din sa right side. Okay? So, this will become 0 na po. Ang matitira na lang ay 3x. And then, kapag pinagsama naman natin yung 27 and 25, that is equal to 52. So, ang next step naman po natin is to eliminate 2x on the right side. Okay? So, same po, addition property of equality. Para maging 0 yung 2x, since positive yan, magma-minus ka ng 2x both sides. Okay? So, 2x minus 2x will become 0 na po. Okay, and then simplify the right side. 3x minus 2x, 3 minus 2 is 1. Meaning, x na lang yung matitira, 1x. Okay, simplify natin. X is equal to 52. No need to divide both sides kasi 1 na yung coefficient ng x. Ito na po yung final value natin ng x. So, dahil meron na tayong value ng x, makukuha na natin ngayon yung C at yung D. Okay? By substitution, let us solve for the value of C. So, ang expression po natin for C is 3x minus 25. Again, ang value ng x ay 52. So, i-substitute na natin. Magiging 3 times 52 minus 25 following the PEMDAS. So, unahin natin yung 3 times 52 and that will give us 156. Okay? And then, subtract na natin. 156 minus 25 is equal to 131 degrees. So, 131 po yung value ng C. So, let's see kung 131 din yung makukuha nating value ng D. Kasi, di ba, vertical angle sila. So, try natin. Solution for D. So, ang gagawin natin, same nung kanina, isa-substitute natin yung value of X to the given expression for D, which is 2x plus 27. So, palitan na natin yung x. Magiging 2 times 52 plus 27. 2 times 52 is 104 or 104. 104 plus 27 is equal to 131 degrees. So, parehas 131 degrees ang nakuha natin. That means, tama na naman po ang ating sagot. Okay? So, again, ang value ng x ay 52, ang value ng c ay 131 degrees, at ang value ng d ay also 131 degrees. Check natin kung tama yung sagot. C is equal to D. Of course, 131 degrees is equal to 131 degrees. Last example. The two angles here, which measure D and E, form a linear pair. So, as you can see naman, di ba, linear pair yung na-form. Find the value of X, D, and E if D is 2x plus 30 and E is x plus 15. So, since linear pair sila, that means supplementary yung dalawa. At kapag supplementary yung dalawang angles, automatic ang sum nila ay 180 degrees. So, dun po manggagaling yung equation natin. Okay? Ang relationship ng dalawa, ang sum nila is 180. So, let us write the equation. D plus E equals 180 degrees. Okay? So, by substituting 2x plus 30 to D and x plus 15 to E, masasolve na natin yung x. Gawin na natin 2x plus 30 at saka x plus 15 equals 180. So, since addition naman to, we just simply need to combine the like terms. 2x plus x is simply 3x, and then 30 plus 15 is 45. Okay? So, dun po nanggaling yan. 2x plus x, 3x, 30 plus 15, 45. After that, we have to eliminate this, yung plus 45. And again, para maging 0 siya, we will do the opposite of plus 45, and that is minus 45. So, minus 45 po dapat both sides, ha? So, magiging 0 na to. Ang matitira na lang ay 3x. And then, on the right side, ang matitira na lang po is 135. And since may 3 pa dito, we have to divide both sides by 3. Para po, maalis na po yung 3 sa tabing x. 3 divided by 3 will give us 1x. Or simply, x. And 135 divided by 3 will give us 45 po. Okay? Munti ko nang masabing 45 degrees. Again, wala pong degree sign. Kasi, value ng x po yun. Okay? Hindi po yung mismong measurement. Let us now solve for D and E. Dun muna tayo sa D. By substitution property, substitute na natin yung 45 dun sa 2x plus 30. So, x will become 45, and then by following the PEMDAS, 2 times 45 will give us 90, and 90 plus 30 is equal to 120 degrees. Okay? So, 120. Gawin naman natin yung E. So, let us now solve for the value of E by substituting again 45 to x. Magiging 45 plus 15. Okay? And 45 plus 15 is 60 degrees. So, kanina, di ba, ang nakuha natin value ng D ay 120 at ang value naman ng E ay 60 degrees. Check natin kung tama nga ba yung nakuha nating sagot. So, di ba, yung D at E ay nag-form ng linear pair, which means ang sum nila ay 180. So, i-add natin yung nakuha nating sagot. 120 plus 60 is equal to 180. So, ang sum po ng 120 at ng 60 ay 180 degrees din. Okay? So, nag-equal po siya. That means tama po yung nakuha nating values ng X, D, at E. So, that is how we apply the concepts learned in solving problems. I hope you have learned a lot from this video kahit medyo napahaba talaga kasi ang dami po nung na-discuss natin. Thank you for your patience and God bless you. See you on our next video. Goodbye!